So in this video, it's really all about why you're going to want to get yourself a new upgraded wireless microphone, because we are talking about the PTAU-2 from Phenyx Pro, an amazing microphone set that gives you 10 great options that you're going to want to get today. Now, first and foremost, I am talking to you on it right now. This is it. It's in front of me. I have set it up this way, even though the receiver is literally right there. Now, this is a machine that can not just go this close, but I can also use it across the entire length of a football field and then some. Yes, if you want to do interviews, but you want to leave your recording equipment in one spot and you want to be able to just go remotely and use your microphone, you can do that with this. That's how good this microphone is. Now, there's 9 big features besides the 10th one, which I'll give away first right now. It's a dual pack. There's 2 in the box. This is the 2-unit in 1 package system. And yes, it's extremely reliable and it's extremely dependable. Now, normally, if I talked to you about a system of this performance at this level of quality with this level of features, we'd be probably talking about something that costs over $1,000. But not here, not today. Phenyx Pro has given us this at such a reasonable price that it makes a lot of people question, how good can it actually be? Is it something you'd want to buy? And the question is going to be absolutely yes. After watching this video, and of course, everybody else has talked about it, you're going to want to use the link down below. You're going to want to go and get yourself a set and upgrade what you currently have, because the safety blankets and the quality that this unit's going to offer you compared to what you probably have now will supersede anything you're thinking about when it comes to any other wireless microphone. So let's cover all these great features in today's video. Now, of course, when I'm doing this, I'm going to be referring to the instruction manual, and you'll be able to see the unit in action at the same time. 2 birds, 1 stone, as they say. Now, the first thing we talk about is volume and volume control. That's their first big feature. Now, this allows me to control the output gains of the actual receiver to the mixing board. So this way I can decide how much or how little gain I want to pump into that mixing board right there, which is very nice because it does have a extraordinary range, kind of like you would see on your slider or dial control. You're going to go all the way from a minus 30 to a plus 18 dB, which is an extraordinary amount of gain difference. That's what you're looking for when you want to have optimal control for your mixing system. Now, of course, you can plug that directly into a speaker with that much control. Now, the next feature they talk about is their RF and their RF settings. Now, their RF settings, it's all UHF, of course. It's all within the license spectrum. So here, of course, the one I'm using is set up for Canada, which has the same lineup that is available in the States. So they picked this spectrum that was very, very tight. Now, this probably allows it to be legal without an operating license in a lot of other places. Now, notice how I said legal and without an operating license, because you can get commercial grade equipment that requires an operator to have a license to use that equipment where you are. There's a specific narrow band of equipment and frequency that has to be licensed or unlicensed for a UHF microphone. So in this case, they've tightened it up so it's in the unlicensed, so you get to use it, which also gives us a restriction on range. But by having certain features built into the unit, they've maximized the potential, because these microphones have to work good up close and far away. And we're going to cover that a little bit further down the list. But right now we have the top 100 frequency channels that they've built into this unit. That's amazing. That's an awful lot of options. It allows you to select manually if you want through it, and then lock it in using the automatic sync function. So you don't have to do it twice. You just choose it on the unit, and there you go. Now, there are some other features that are going to come along shortly that are going to blow your mind away when it comes to making that feature even better. So the third option on the unit is called tuning. Now, tuning allows you to automatically set up a very unique channel for each one. So yes, there is 100 channels, but each actual microphone can have its own 100 available frequencies to choose from, because each one has another 10 different side bands that can be linked up with it, giving it even a more unique channel than ever before. So that means 1,000 of them can be selected from, which makes it crazy when you're spinning the jog wheel to see them all. Now, again, once you've done that, you can simply just tune it in to where you want manually. And you can then use the sync button. Again, the sync button is an IR feature that's located on the front of the unit. And if you remove the battery cover, you will see it on the handheld unit. That allows the unit to sync up and pair up properly together. All very, very smart stuff. Now, as we move along, another amazing feature. Now, this is a feature you probably haven't heard too much of, or you have, and maybe you just misunderstand what it may mean. It has a feature called squelch. I said squelch. Now, squelch is specific because what happens is at a certain point, you may get a signal dropout, or, battery dies, or somebody leaves with a microphone, goes to the washroom, and it's so far, so buried that it loses connectivity with the actual unit. Well, normally you would just end up with this big burst of noise or static or hissing in the background, or it would just be bad. I mean, people have heard this, microphones cutting out and you're not getting anything except noise on the back end on the receiver. Well, squelch allows you to choose from 3 different levels. So as the signal gets weaker and weaker, if it gets to a point where it's too weak and it thinks it's going to drop out, it just mutes the channel. Absolutely. That's very, very impressive. I do like the idea of that. Now, of course, you can set it at different gain levels depending on how it's going to be used. So if you're close up, you have a very strong signal, you can set it up so this way very little is going to cause it to cut out because you're really up on top of the unit. Or you can set it to be very, very sensitive just in case you're getting some large distances, or there might be a lot of people between the microphone and the receiver, a lot of things in the way. So you can adjust that according to your setup. So one of my favorite features this also has, here we go, ID lock. I love the way this works. This allows your handheld receiver to not get mixed up with any other handheld receiver operating. It gives it a security lock between the actual microphone itself and the receiving station. So this way, even if something else is operating, it'll make sure it stays away or not interfere with your handheld. So this way, the person in the next actual hall besides you will not interfere with your system. Very important. Or if 2 people are running the entire system and you may have a rack of these and have 4 microphones, no one's going to accidentally piggyback on your signal and mess up your whole setup. Very, very nice. Now you can lock, and this makes the units much more secure to operate with afterwards because you'll know exactly where it is on the mixing board by which microphone you have. Very nice. Very good setup. Auto scan. Now, remember all these complicated things I was saying earlier about, having to select and choose and go through all these things? Well, you can use a feature called auto scan, and it's probably the simplest way to get the best channel out of your microphone so you get the best quality and the best possible range. I mean, auto scan is your best friend when it comes to making life as easy as possible. So again, this is a feature that this microphone has, and you can definitely take advantage of it. I would use it every single time. Now, for an added toy, if you're having a large amount of problems and you want to troubleshoot the system, because maybe the venue you're at or wherever you're, somebody says, hey, we want you to set up next to this, power plant, and we want you to do a live broadcast, but you're having a difficult time and you don't know if it's your equipment or your environment that is causing you RF issues. Well, this feature here is called a spectrum analyst. It's cool. It'll actually scan the entire spectrum of the UHF that it's going to be able to operate in. So that's from the lowest to the highest possible combination of numbers, and it goes through the whole thing. Then it allows you on the display of the actual receiver to look through that spectrum. It'll show you the peaks of where other microphones are transmitting and receiving a signal, or if there's any major interference from other equipment that is breaking the FCC rules and they're actually bleeding into your spectrum. Sometimes it's just electricity, just causes these issues. It does happen. So to have that feature and be able to check that and know, is it my microphone? Is it the receiver? Is it the environment? It's all part of what's inside this unit. This is what makes this such a professional piece of hardware. Now we're up to the transmitter settings. Now this is amazing. Transmitter settings on this unit here are very specific because the transmitter allows you to adjust as something as small as 2 milliwatts and can go all the way up to 30 milliwatts. That's why this microphone works so well, literally 2 feet away from the receiver, because it's not overwhelming the system. I'm not getting any big noise in the background. I'm not getting a humming or a hiss because I'm too close. These things do happen. If you use certain equipment and you get too close to your receiver, you'll notice that you've got a problem in the background. You hear a hum or a buzzing sound because you've received the microphone so close that this happens. Those are great when you have microphones that are built for long range, but very frustrating when you get close. And then the opposite occurs. A lot of microphones are determined to be consumer grade. So a consumer grade microphone may only have a 75-foot range, but they're only operating at 5 to 10 milliwatts at best. And the idea there is so this way they can be up close to you without having any interference problems, but they will suffer dramatically when it comes to any range that you may want to have. Now, this unit here allows you to increase the range capabilities of it. So if you're using it in a football stadium, you can have it at a ridiculous amount, or at a racetrack on the weekend. So if you're using it for a dirt track racing and you need to get around with the microphone, you can do that. If you're using it at a wedding ceremony, you can adjust it to a medium setting so you can have it in that environment, no problem. So you can have it as close as you need if you're using it for a live shoot like we're using it here. Or maybe you need to adjust it again to medium for an auditorium. There's so many different reasons why you're going to want to adjust this to a different gain level. If you're doing a PA announcement at a corporate event, they may want you to have the speakers at one particular place and your microphone where they need it. And then they may want you nowhere near the camera shot, way off in a distance. Well, you can do that with this equipment. Very smart, very manageable, very easy and professional to use. It gives you everything you're looking for in performance, but making it as easy so you can use it on the fly. Wow. I like that. That's great. Let's get down to the last overall feature, and that is what they call an auto lock, not ID lock. ID lock is how we guaranteed the quality and signal lock between the microphone and the receiver. This is called auto lock. Now, auto lock basically allows you to lock the whole system down so nobody's going to accidentally mess around with the handheld. Remember, if you're using it at a wedding and you set a microphone up at the head table, there are drunk people at the head table, and these people may mess around with their equipment that you've given them to operate. If you have it set into lock mode, they won't be able to unlock it without you taking care of it first. No messing up, always works perfect. You're the winner. It just looks good when you have everything under control, and that's exactly what happens here. Now, all that being said, do I recommend it? Absolutely. I mean, the price point's ridiculously affordable. I mean, you're looking at a unit that is somewhere between the range of $450, but you have to use the link to make absolutely sure you're getting it at the best possible price today. You need to make that opportunity. Now, and you also have to look at, do you want to replace or upgrade what you have? Those are very important things. If you've been relying on weaker, unsecure networks, then you definitely want to look at an opportunity to have a system like this. Now, of course, this also comes in different configurations. You can get it with body packs if you want to have it that way. You can get it in a single, a 2, a 4-pack. Remember, in combinations, they're available as well. Do I recommend it? I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I think it's one of the best things that I've tried. And for sure, in the price point, the best piece of hardware I've tried, period. I mean, you can't ask for anything more. There's lots of equipment that you've got choices, 5, 6, 7 different pieces to choose from in the same price point from different manufacturers. With this particular microphone right now, that is not the case. So remember, this whole time I've been talking to you on the actual microphone itself. Here it is right now. I'm talking to you right on that microphone. This whole video has been filmed on this one microphone. I will edit it afterwards, but I'm not even going to get rid of the background noise because it's a dynamic and I've set it up as a hyperdynamic. I've given it the extra oomph that it needs to do a great job. I'll be able to use it just like this. It runs off just AA batteries. Lock and load it up with some new AA batteries on the job. It will go for 6 to 8 hours, no problem. So you don't have to worry about it if you're using it for a church service, any house worship. This microphone will work. If you plan on using it for any live events, for sure, listen to the background quality. Really nice, really clean. Add a pop filter like I did right on top of it, a windscreen type mic cover. You're going to love the sound of this thing. Again, I'm not tweaking it any. I'm probably going to throw a gain to make sure I get maximum volume so this way you hear it properly. I'm going to do that on the software, but I'm probably on top of that just going to add a second compressor to make sure the lows are brought up and the highs are brought down. I just want to smooth it out a bit for you. But outside of that, you've got it. This is it. A perfect setup. Well, again, I'd like to say thank you very much to Phenyx Pro for making this video possible. And the links will all be down below. Take the time to hit that like, comment, and subscribe options. That would be phenomenal. And of course, somewhere on the screen right now is probably the best video for you to watch next. So again, thanks for watching. And you can hit that button anytime you want. There it is. There's the next video.